Most people assume that when an avoidant man disappears, he walks away untouched, free of you, free of feelings, free of the chaos love brings. But that's not what happens. Avoidant men don't escape love. They bury it, and what's buried doesn't die. It decays in the dark, becoming memories that haunt them quietly for years. These memories don't fade. They fuse into who they are, shaping how they love, how they trust, and how they keep running from what they crave most. Because ghosting doesn't erase you. It only turns you into a secret they can't stop remembering. In this video, we'll talk about the 5 memories an avoidant man can never erase, and how understanding those ghosts can give you the closure he never will. The memory of your emotional safety. The first memory an avoidant man can never erase is the feeling of emotional safety you gave him. That moment when, even for a brief second, he felt like he could finally exhale. It might have been a simple night. You lying beside him, your laughter soft, your energy calm. He felt something he rarely feels: peace. That peace terrified him, because deep down it revealed what he's been running from his entire life. Connection doesn't kill freedom, it heals fear. But to the avoidant man, peace feels like danger, safety feels like exposure, love feels like a trap. So he ran. And yet, years later, that memory returns. The stillness of your presence, the way your tone softened the edges of his chaos, the warmth in your eyes when he finally let himself be seen. That memory becomes his compass and his curse. Because once a man has felt genuine emotional safety, he can't unfeel it. He might chase distraction, new faces, temporary highs that keep him feeling in control. But every quiet night, when the noise fades, his nervous system remembers you. You became the calm he didn't believe existed. And no matter how far he runs, he can never recreate that peace with someone else. Because it wasn't about what you did, it was about what you were, a mirror showing him what love could be if he stopped running from himself. The memory of how you saw him. The second memory an avoidant man can never erase is how you saw him. Not the mask he wore for the world, but the boy beneath. You saw his quiet ache, his pullback from emotions, and instead of judging, you held space for it. That terrified him, because being truly seen activated his deepest wound, the fear of being known and then abandoned. When he ghosted, he wasn't escaping you, he was escaping the reflection of himself in your gaze. And that truth, loneliness beneath independence, longing beneath detachment, is unbearable. He never forgets it. Once you've truly been seen, superficial can never satisfy. Your eyes became his mirror, and mirrors don't fade. The memory of the moment he hurt you. The third memory that never leaves an avoidant man is the exact moment he saw pain in your eyes, pain that he caused. For all his avoidance, for all his walls, there's one thing an avoidant man can't completely detach from: the moral wound of knowing he hurt someone who loved him. He remembers the text he didn't answer, the look on your face when he pulled away, the silence that stretched between you like a punishment he couldn't bear to face. At first, he justifies it. He tells himself you were too emotional, too much, too soon. He tells himself he had to protect his peace. But the mind can rationalize what the soul still feels, and eventually the memory returns, not as guilt, but as grief. Because what haunts an avoidant man isn't the loss of control, it's the loss of goodness. He knows he destroyed something pure. He knows that somewhere you sat wondering why love suddenly became silence, and that image becomes permanent. In Jungian terms, this is the shadow's awakening, when the parts of himself he disowned rise up to confront the illusion of strength he's built his identity upon. He tells himself he's moved on. But late at night, when his phone glows in the dark, he scrolls through old photos, old messages, trying to feel something other than regret. And though he'll never say it, that moment, that image of your hurt, is the mirror that keeps him humble. The memory of what you represented. The fourth memory an avoidant man can never erase is not about you personally. It's about what you represented. To him, you were the embodiment of possibility. You were the threshold between his old, emotionally numb existence and a new, terrifying, beautiful kind of intimacy that demanded he evolve. You represented what he could have become if he had chosen growth over fear, truth over safety, love over control. And that's why losing you hurts him so deeply. Because losing you isn't just losing a person, it's losing a path, a version of himself he might never meet again. You symbolize the transformation he refused to undergo, the alchemical turning of iron into gold, the soul's evolution that Jung called individuation. And every time life brings him to another crossroad, he feels that ghost of you whispering, "Here's where you ran before." Will you choose differently now? He may forget your birthday, your favorite movie, the sound of your laugh, but he will never forget the meaning of you, because you were his initiation, and initiations once refused return as fate. The memory of your absence. The final and most haunting memory an avoidant man can never erase is the memory of your absence. At first it feels like relief, like the weight of responsibility lifted. No more emotional expectations, no more vulnerability, just freedom. But then the silence begins to echo, and that freedom turns into a void. He starts noticing the little things. No one texts him just to check if he's eaten. No one notices when his tone sounds off. No one laughs at his dumb jokes or looks at him like he's more than his defenses. The world feels quieter, but not in the peaceful way, in the hollow way. And it's that silence that becomes the most persistent ghost of all, because your absence becomes the proof of what he destroyed. It reminds him that love isn't something you can outthink or outrun. It's something that imprints itself into your nervous system. You live there now, not as obsession, but as energy. As a rhythm his body can't forget. He tries to fill it, with work, with other people, with distractions, but nothing fits the shape you left behind. And here's the cruel paradox. His mind will tell him he's fine, but his body will remember your touch. His heart will remember your tone. His dreams will remember your presence. He might never admit it out loud, but he will always carry the ghost of your absence. And here's what's both tragic and beautiful. You were never erased. You became part of his unconscious, a symbol of love, safety, and the self he couldn't face. This isn't about waiting for him to remember you, but about understanding what your love revealed, that even guarded hearts can be touched. Because while he's haunted by what he lost, you're transformed by what you learned. Love isn't about being remembered. It's about awakening something real, even if it lives in silence. So don't picture a man who forgot you. Picture one haunted by the peace he couldn't keep, the eyes he can't forget, and the version of himself he wasn't brave enough to become.